Come on, darling. As if only could. I've finished watching Stranger Things. How good is it? Season 5. Phenomenal. Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's time for another episode of BigDenoPlays. We're continuing our Grimcoven crusade. Uploaded a second episode of this today to the channel. And also... and playing tonight, obviously. So it's really good. It's really, really good. One exciting thing that we're doing tonight, and I'll repeat what I said yesterday about my painting and what we're doing with the painting, but the scenario we're playing tonight is using the Gunslinger Pretender, which we unlocked in yesterday's fight, which is so cool. To my knowledge, I may be wrong, I am the only person so far to have filmed a Pretender playthrough, at least on the internet, legitimately. I don't know if someone else has, maybe they have. But I feel like that's really awesome to have unlocked the Pretender live last night and now to play against that Pretender tonight. And so I'll nip over to this screen. Hopefully, I don't know if I fixed the camera problems, I'm not sure. I think it might be the cables. So I tried moving the cables around and doing some stuff, but anyway. So this is the sheet that you get in the game. It's a little tracking sheet. Is it double-sided? It is double-sided, so you can definitely get a fair bit of use out of this if you want to reset your game. But yeah, so we've now completed those. Apologies, and we've unlocked the Gunslinger Pretender. So that's the battle we're going to do tonight. We're also going to do a little bit of this tonight, the Death Jester and the Clockwork Golem, Clockwork Giant storybooks. So we'll have a little brief read of those. Hello, Tom Wright. Yes, it might be, I'm not sure. It might be exclusive. It might be first that's ever happened, but I'm not sure. Yes, so let's go over to this board and we'll talk about painting. So I'm a miniature painter. I love painting. And I had a rule on my channel, which is that everything should be painted. And as you can see from this, that is not the case. And I'll just quickly explain why. I explained it last night, but for people that missed it or are watching for the first time, I've got a lot of projects that I'm working on at the moment. I've got a display bust. I've got my Kingdom Death vignette of the Screaming Nucleope. I've got a commission for a dude, and then I'm working on a big diorama project. So all of these things are sort of sitting there needing to be done. And then I put Grimcoven on the table and looked at the models. I was like, oh, I really want to play this. But I've got this self-imposed rule that I can't play it until I paint it. And it just felt like an overwhelming amount of stuff that I needed to paint. And it was actually stalling my progress because I felt like I was just overwhelmed in projects. Now, that it's fine. I've felt that way before. And normally what I do is I just don't do it for a while. Just don't do the things. And that's what took my last diorama took about 12 months. Started in one, 12 months later finished it. But I don't really want to have to wait 12 months to film this and put it on camera. Because it's a cool game. And so yeah, I just basically made the decision that I'd put it out to my YouTube followers, and it was an overwhelming majority that said, yeah, play the cool game. So we played the game, and it's great. And since I decided to do that, I've now finished 2 of my Kingdom Death models, and well underway in the others. I reorganised my desk and just feel a lot less stressed about it all. I will be painting this. Like, I think that's the other aspect to that is you never know if you're actually gonna like the game, and sometimes you spend a lot of time painting the models and then you start playing the game and you realise, yeah, maybe this game isn't for me. I've actually had that happen with a couple of games where I've painted them all and then been like, okay, I'm selling that one. Tainted Grail. Actually, I played through a full campaign of Tainted Grail, and then I sold it. So yeah, we're going to play some Grimcoven. So that's why this looks like this. Now, back over here. When you fight a Pretender, which is the very specific expression for a hunter that has become an evil version of themselves, you choose any random scenario. Where is it here? Here. It's in this book somewhere. Here we go. Pretenders. Return Pretender. Pick a random scenario for any Griefbound. Instead of the components of that Griefbound, use the Pretender's components. Then use a number of cards equal to whichever size you're playing. We're going to play with 7 cards if we're playing with 2 characters. And we obviously can't use the Gunslinger in this game. So here's our enemy board. So they have cards for all of the Gunslinger, the guys, which is great. And he uses bullets. So he's going to gain bullets just like us. So good. Cool. He's got his own final attack card. He's got his own opportunity card, and he's got an attack deck. However, the attack deck has 3 level 3s, 3 level 1s, and 3 level 2s, I think. 4 level 1s? No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there's one that's got an extra one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Either way, it's not a spread like the other ones where you have a small number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So those 7 cards are included in there. We'll shuffle them up. Nice. And he's got his own unique stage cards as well, which is awesome. And same as before, he is a level 1. So he's got 4 stage cards. Amazing. Again, I don't know what they do. That's there. And the Pretenders have their own 3 specific event cards for Pretenders. And we've obviously mixed in 5 random cards in there. The scenario says to take a minion, a random minion. We're going to take a Convicted, which are the basic ones. This will be the last time I play with them. Well, the scenario requires it, but I want to play one I haven't played. So, a Cultist, great. So I have played the Assassin, I have played the Bandit, I have played the Thief, and I have played the Arsonist. So this will be our 5th Cultist. Gentle little camera. Excellent. Finally, we're going to randomise the Elite. So this is a random non-named Elite. Don't know which one it is, but we'll place 1 token on the card and we'll find out soon. Isn't that exciting? So done, done, done. Shuffle the Corruption deck and everything here is good to go. We then have some environment cards to determine. So this scenario has 3 random environment cards. And I know that because I played it last night. So here are my 3 random environment cards. The first one is a pile of skulls. Okay, so we don't set up any other piles of skulls. The second is not a pile of skulls. It is not a pile of skulls. Instead, it's an Abyss Forge. Cool, haven't seen that. And a carriage. So that's great. So I should have those over here. The Abyss Forge is new. There's the carriage. There's the Abyss Forge. That's actually very thematically appropriate in this scenario. And I'll explain why in a second. So the Abyss Forge, I have to remember where that one goes. I think that's one there, and where was the last one? So this is the Devourer's scenario 1, in case you're wondering. Okay, so it doesn't make a lot of thematic sense to me to put an Abyss Forge on a wooden bridge, so we're going to put it there. And then you put these on Lament Rifts as far away as possible. Excellent, that is it. Done, done, done. And so here is the Gunslinger Pretender. They have this little base, which is called a something base, but it's just so you can put your Pretenders on it so they have a little bit more physical board presence. Quite imposing. I actually think that's great as well. So that's the board set up. Now, we're going to play two characters. The Clockwork Giant, who I have been calling the Clockwork Golem, and I apologise for that. Here's the Devourer's cards, which we don't need. Excellent, I'll put those away. And the Devourer was a really fun fight, actually. So, of the ones I've played so far, Devourer's my favourite. He's got a stomach and he swallows your characters and they're inside his stomach. It's sick. So good. Okay, so the Clockwork Golem, Clockwork Giant, he has a very cool playstyle. It's a challenging playstyle. He has this gear token. And so to start the game, you start on one of these gear tokens, and that is your starting dice. And you'll then rotate the gear token around. Meet, meet, meet. Meet, meet, meet. And every time you rotate it, you'll have a different passive effect and a different movement. So as it stands, his movement is 0. Very bad, very bad. I'm just going to spawn the minions that we need to spawn. There are 4 of them. They will go on Lament Rifts 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's it on that. So we will start with the gear 2 active. I'm not sure if you get this, but I'm going to assume that you do. I assumed that yesterday. So you gain 2 when you flip this gear. And then maybe I'll set up a little zoom. Let me see if I've got a zoom set up. That's definitely not a good zoom function there, Deno. You've done awful. Let's try this one. Let's see if we can zoom in. Why is that? It's just silly sometimes the way this thing works. Rotate 180 degrees. No, flip horizontal. There we go. So I just wanted to zoom in on my gear cards. There we go. So the cogwheel sword will stay the same. So it's got a 1 damage attack at 0 to 1, then a move 1 and deal 2 damage at range 0. So potential 3 damage, pretty powerful. This will actually change each turn. So I think that's super cool. He's great. He's really fun to play. Sometimes though, he can be very frustrating because you're just like, I really want you to do this thing, you idiot. Why aren't you doing this thing? Speaking of fun, this is the Death Jester. She's berserker. She is absolutely insane. So she's got this deck of cards that are called Fate cards. And you will draw these Fate cards into your hand, and then you have the opportunity to gamble on these attacks to potentially make them more powerful. Seems really, really cool. And it is. So the way that you do a gamble is you'll flip 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a good start. And depending on what the gamble requires, so in this one it requires successes. Successes is a prince and a princess. This one is a pair. So this would succeed if we gambled here because we've got a pair of knights. This is the worst card. It counts as nothing. So it's bad. But if you have a card in your hand, such as this one, you could choose to discard one and replace it. So to try and achieve the result that you're looking for, very, very fun. Not easy though. High risk, high reward. My style. That's my style, sir. Naturally. It's a little Sharp reference there for anyone who's watched Sharp. Cool. Cool, so that's our two characters. That's the board set up. Now let me explain the scenario specific thing we've got up the top here. So it's called the Abyss. So that is the Abyss tile up the back there. The two actions we've got on the Abyss tile are gaze into the Abyss, draw and resolve secret card 44, or disrupt the rifts, and you can get what? Why would you want to get spawn minions? You get lots of lament out of that, maybe. So we also flipped an Abyss Forge, which is a specific item card that gives you the ability to do some actions. Let's show that off, actually. What do we got? So we can discard a black dice and the Abyss Forge to gain one chosen item card of your hunter. So you've got more versatility. That is unreal. And then we've got a secret card 46. Okay. Man, that could be so powerful for both of these characters. Now, the reason why this is thematic, let's go over to this screen and we'll talk about these little books. So Bant from Meet Me at the Table, Bernd, legend, has played with these in one of his playthroughs, and I thought they were really fantastic. I'm not going to read through them. I don't feel like reading 15 pages of stuff right now. But what we will just briefly look at, I'll put it here, so if you want to pause the recording now, you can read that. This is the Death Jester's entry, and her quest is to make 2 successful gambles in a single turn. So we want to try and achieve that, make 2 successful gambles in a single turn to read the next entry. Pretty cool. And the Clockwork Giants unlock. And again, feel free to pause the recording and have a read through the story if you'd like. I read through them before, so they're cool. However, this guy's got a special setup. Use the Abyss environment tile instead of the listed area environment. So that's why we've got the Abyss tile, because this guy specifically says it. And for us to achieve the next thing, we need to get to that tile and resolve evolution. That's not going to be easy because of its location, but we'll give it a crack and hope for the best. All right, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Have I done everything for the enemy area? Yes. So the way the Gunslinger works, the Gunslinger Pretender, I will open that up, because that's a specific change. The Gunslinger Pretender forges bullets. From what I can tell in here, it's used in the special effect only for the bullets. So when he forges a bullet, it goes on here, and then he'll spend those bullets anytime he does the special, applying all effects. So the special starts at just doing 1 damage to a hunter, to each hunter in 0 to 2. Oh man, this guy's going to be punishing. And then he applies all bullet effects, so he's going to add damage as well as range for each bullet. He's got stun and burn on his weapons as well, so he's actually going to be a real hassle every time he does his special. He's also got this, which I find really interesting. So all of the other Griefbound have had 4 things, so you rotate around and there's 4 of them. This one's only got 3, so we're going to see the special and the stage cards more frequently than we would have in one of the other ones, which I think usually had different spawns. But each one's different, and they've all felt quite different since in playing them, which I think is a credit to the design. Let's have a look at what these little minions do, actually. We need to understand them. So if there's 100 and 0 to 3, Cursed Chant, deal 1 and a curse. Otherwise, Careful Approach, gain 2, move 1. They're awful. Ranged minions are the worst. We don't have a very effective range game. Having the Gunslinger last night made me feel super cool because I could just pop guys from range, but we've got to get up close and personal with these two characters. We'll deploy the Clockwork Golem here, and we'll deploy the Death Jester here. And I think we're good to go. I think. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yep. Alright, so let's roll our dice to start. 15 health, yes. Oh, double that, double that. Not a single sword. That's a pretty significant problem, isn't it? Maybe not. We can do that. Yeah, okay, we'll be okay. I may still use a tactics token to gain some re-rolls, but might see what the Death Jester rolls actually. See how she goes. Alright, a lot of shields there, and only one sword, so not the most promising of starting rolls. Definitely looking for some tactics here. We will do the Clockwork Giant as our starting character. He has the starting token. We're ready to go! Let's go! So the first thing I want to check is what this focused barrage is going to do. It looks awful, but we definitely want to do 2 wounds to it, if we can. However, the line of sight's going to be a thing for this one. I'm probably going to try and use that fog to hide. Focused, move 1 to a space with line of sight to a hunter. Deal 2 to each hunter in line of sight. Forge a bullet. Move 2. Deal 3 to each hunter in line of sight. So he's just punishing us. If we do 2 damage to him, we don't let him... I'm just not going to be able to get range to him, so we're just going to have to let him do that, I think. That's awful. The question I'm trying to decide right now is, do I want to gain that Abyss Forge weapon for the Death Jester? I'm kind of tempted to do that. So this is deal 1 in range 0 to 1. And we have that right now. We could gain 2. And we could also use that first to give the Clockwork Golem another armor to take him up to 4. And we could try and gamble. That could be fine. And then this one is a move, and this one we need a sprint one. So tactics. Okay. So if we're going to move up to that Abyss Forge, we need one of these to be able to move back. The other option is we just move onto the treasure chest and stay safe for this turn and worry about gaining that weapon at a later stage. Yeah, it's a tricky call. It's a tricky call. Okay, over here, I think we've got a pretty easy decision. I could give her that actually. Yep. Okay, so we're going to give this blue dice here to the Death Jester. And that's a movement. And we're then going to use this double shield to move 2, and because that has a value, that doesn't actually have a use this symbol, you get to move 2. And we're going to move on to over here, the treasure chest. And that gets us out of line of sight. Oh, actually, do we want to do that? Move 2? No, we want to go here and move 1 to there. So that's going to let us do 2 damage. 1 damage for every 2 shield that we have. We have a 2 shield. So that'll pop that little cultist guy and gain us a lament. So that's our first evolution underway. And that's our 2 actions. 1, 2. Cool. And we gain 2 and move 1. Yep, that's fine. We move into the thing. Death Jester. Let's just take this while we can. Let's take this as a movement action, and we're going to go up to the Abyss Forge. Up to here. And we're going to take that Abyss Forge action. And that is discard a black dice and the Abyss Forge to gain 1 chosen item card of your hunter. I did not even know that was possible, so that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the item cards of her. Lucky Suit, refresh step, draw 1 fate card. So we could put a lucky suit on. And that would let us draw 2 fate cards every refresh step. And on a failed gamble, gain 2 armor. Geez, I don't mind that. That could be great. Okay, Bell Cape. Fine. Probably not that. A 2-handed axe. We can move. Deal 1 in 0 to 1. Repeat this action for every successful gamble. Don't know if we need that. And what's this one? A glaive. Deal 1 in range 1. No, I'm going to take the lucky suit. So we're going to put on a lucky suit as well over here. Thanks to the Abyss Forge, we've now got a lucky suit. That's fun. That is actually really fun. So we've discarded 1 black dice to gain the Abyss Forge to gain 1 chosen item card from your hunter. The second action we're going to take is we're going to use this purple dice and we're going to sprint. We're going to move into line of sight. I'll turn that off now. Or out of line of sight. So the Abyss Forge is done. It's gone. We're going to move 1, 2 to this treasure and take that. We're also out of line of sight here. Do I have a movement action before I do that? Any other way of moving? No. No. So yeah, I think it's... Oh, I need to lament. I need to be able to level up this first turn. Or do I? I've actually sort of kind of leveled up thanks to this in a way. Just I'm not going to be able to do anything else this turn, basically. Gain some tactics. Now we'll take the treasure. I don't know. We might get a lament from that maybe. So 1 treasure obtained, and what do we get? Oh, gain a lament or gain a black dice. I'll take a black dice. So when you gain a black dice, you immediately roll it. We had to discard that dice, but now we have that back. So that's good. And she is pretty much stuck there now, doing a lot of tactics and a lot of nothing else, maybe gaining some armor. So that's fine. We can try gambling, I suppose, actually. That could be fun, and try and get our 2 gambles off early. Because you can take an action and gamble. We could gamble on both of these. Sure, let's try that. And we'll use that for tactics. So yeah, action 1 was sprint. Action 2 is we're going to gamble and gain a shield. So the shield is gained either way. We're going to try a gamble, so we need a pair. So we get a knight, followed by a knight, followed by a king. So we successfully gain the pair. 1 other hunter in line of sight. Unfortunately, no one else is in line of sight because we are in the mist. That's fine. And that's the 2 actions. But we've achieved 1 successful gamble, so if we get a second one, kicking goals. Alright, this goober. What do we want to do with this goober? Maybe we give a sword to him. I kind of want to... Ugh. So we can sprint. But we can also... Yeah, let's take this. We'll take that one to gain 2 shield. So we're going to go to 4 shield. And move 1. And we're going to take the treasure chest as well. And again, we're also in safety there because we're in fog. We can't be seen. So what do we get? Heal 4 or gain a green dice. Well, we can't heal with the Clockwork Golem or gain 4 armor. We'll take the green, I guess. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. So that was a move and a 4 armor. And now I'm gonna sprint. We can literally move 1 space on a sprint. Pretty awful. We'll just take a tactics. Yep, take a tactics token. So back over here, we're going to try this. We're going to gain these 2. We're going to draw a fate card, and we're going to try and gamble again. So we get a knight, so we're going to gamble looking for successes. So that's a prince. That's a queen. Yeah, we need a princess with the rose. Oh, okay. So we fail that gamble. On a failed gamble, you gain a 2 armor. So we're up to 4 armor anyway. No big deal. That knight stays in our hand until the end of the round. And then I don't think we have any other possibility for gambling. So we'll just take a tactics token and she is going to be done. Back to the golem. We can sprint, but we want to stay where we are. And nothing else that we want to do, I guess. So we'll just waste all of our dice in this first turn. The minion placement's been problematic, but the minions are also... Do they require line of sight? Yep. So the minions are just going to move slowly towards us. And armor up, which isn't ideal. We've finished our first round. We gained some dice, which is kind of like an evolution. But we've got tactics tokens, I suppose. So the event step comes first. Burning Lament. Place 1 lament in Lament Rift 6. That's up the top, very unhelpful. Each hunter may discard any lumber of lament. I will just take a burn on the Clockwork Golem. And that's fine. We are not fighting the Convergence. So that card is done. These ones, if there is a hunter in range 0 to 3 and line of sight, there is not because we're hidden in the fog. So they're all going to move 1 towards the closest enemy. So this guy's going to move 1 and he'll put up a 2 shield. 2 shield's quite annoying. This guy's going to move 1 and put up a 2 shield. Curse chat. And this guy 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to go that way. Okay, we're going to find out what the elite is. We discard this and we reveal... Oh, it's the werewolf guy. A feral hunter. So in my last playthrough that I did, I removed the elite in the first turn and it was actually really useful. So am I going to try for that again? So he goes in a closest portal space, closest to the Pretender. So we'll go there next to our big guy. Yeah, actually maybe we'll go here next to the Jester. So he's done. And we'll move on to the Griefbound. So, unfortunately for us, the focused card is going to trigger. But fortunately for us, it's not going to do anything. So deal 2 to each hunter in line of sight. No. Move 1 space towards a hunter. No. Deal 2 to each hunter in line of sight. No. Forge 1 bullet. That's the bad part. He forges a bullet. Move 2 to a space with line of sight to a hunter. He still can't do that, so we have to decide who we want him to go for. The Clockwork Golem, I think. So we'll go 1, 2 to there. Still no line of sight. Deal 3 to each hunter in line of sight. So he doesn't do any damage to us this turn, for now. However, he is about to trigger his special. So we go to the time track now. Oh, we're going to spawn. So we're spawning 4 enemies. And there is 3 enemies on the board, so we're going to spawn at number 4, 6, 5, and 7. There is a lot of minions to deal with, And that's it. He's not doing anything else. Okay, spawning more minions next turn. Oh, prepare to hunt and resolve special. Phew. That next turn's going to hurt. Sweet. So we've finished that. We move on to the lament phase. The corruption step. The Clockwork Giant. He's got sadism. He's got no hunger. He's going to heal 2 or deal 1 damage at range 0. No thank you. Nothing to worry about. Her. She's got no hunger. She's going to lose 1 corruption or gain a tactic. Also not helpful. I thank you for nothing. So we'll spend our only lament that we gained in that first turn to level up the Clockwork Giant. So if we get something good here, that'd be good, obviously. Power transfer. Resolve the effect depending on the current gear. Interesting. And that's an any dice. So we picked up an extra dice already, so I tend to think that we'll go for that. That's, you may tell, okay, so we'll take that one. That seems fine. Refresh, we're going to roll our dice. No swords again. However, why are you doing that again? I thought I fixed you. We're rotating to gear 3. We're taking a damage, so we're down to 14. And we can set a die to a chosen side. We'll set this to a sword, I guess. And we'll discard this lightning bolt, or this thing. We also move to gear card 3 to discard our burn. So we're taking no other damage. Our movement is 1. Over here, can't do anything. Just going to roll these dice. That goes back. Alright. Maybe some more actions this turn. So she stays there. Now with the Fate deck, we shuffle that, and in the refresh step, which is now, we're going to draw 2 cards because of these 2. 1, 2. So that's a king. Alright. Alright. Fine. She's first this turn. Our card that we're dealing with is spawning minions, so this has to be a minion clearing turn, really. Or 7 damage to him. 7 damage is way too much. I can't see us getting 7 damage. I'd need to kill him as well. 6 damage for him. For the Feral Hunter. I may have overcommitted here. Alright, well, we can move with her. Another hunter in line of sight. So we didn't draw any successes, so for us to deal 3 damage, it's unlikely. Oh, gamble colour. Instead, deal 1 to each enemy in range 0 to 1. That could be pretty awesome if we move forward 1 space. We need a sword and a shield to do that, though. Not really great roll for it. So if we spend both of those, then we can't use that. So sword and a shield. That's again a waste of a shield, but we could do that. Then we could move and try and spam that on that guy. And yep, okay. This is a moderate plan for her. And then we'll see what happens after that. We've got our tactics token. We do also have the carriage, but that's a fair way away. Okay, so what's the Clockwork Giant going to do? It's going to be fantastic. Yeah, played it with 3 last week, and just absolutely loved it. And I think the run time is definitely going to shorten as you know the game. So I uploaded an episode of this today. It was 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it felt like a quick game because I had some good things happen, which is nice. But yeah, I don't think it's as long as people are making it out to be. But it's a really cool game. Really, really cool. I did my top 10 list today. I decided my top 10 list. Will Grimcoven make the list? Who's to say? What are we going to do with this idiot? So he's movement 1. So I can sprint him. And that'll get him to the space with the boss. G'day, Nick. So this gear card we can use to kill that guy, which gets us an armor token, but we're already at max, so that doesn't help us. Alternatively, we use this, which is deal 2 damage to that card, and that's good. I've got to film it, hi Anabolic, I've got to film it. So I'll probably try and do that this coming weekend. I'll try and film it and then edit it together. And yeah, that'll take, hopefully this weekend. And there'll be 2 top 10 videos. I'm doing top 10 solo games of the year and top 10 multiplayer. I really found it difficult last year to try and decide because I value them both differently. So, yeah, there you go. Those shields aren't helpful at all. So do I re-roll the shields? With my tactic. I'm not sure. But I think that's our only option. We'd probably use that to kill a minion rather than that guy. Maybe we go to the carriage actually. Yeah, let's go to the carriage. Yeah, I like that. That's a good plan. Let's see what's in the carriage. Okay, so here we are. The Death Jester's first. So we're ready to go. I'm going to move using this this here to just move. Well, you'll have to watch and see. I don't know how many people have actually won this on film yet. I can't recall anyone. Like I don't think Bernd has won any. I haven't seen Dicing with Death win any. Yeah, so enjoy that playthrough today. Yeah, it was a absolute shellacking. I gave him an absolute shellacking. Smashed him. Which I think is actually a really good thing, and I'll explain why. I think it shows a skill curve. So I think once you understand the game a little bit more, you have this skill curve and you actually start to see the result of that. So I think it's good. Also, we had some good things go our way. Okay, so I've moved the Death Jester into this location, and she is now going to use this action, which is spending a sword and a shield. So she's going to deal 1 damage in range 0 to 1, but we're going to try and gamble. So this will be our first gamble. Oh, it's the big whale again. So the first gamble will be, we need 1 purple because we can actually pull these 2 if we get 1 purple. No, be a purple. Oh, you idiot. We needed the purple. That's fine. So we'll take the minion. We'll kill the minion. This is actually installment number 3, buddy. So that minion dies, he goes into the pool, and we gain a lament on the Death Jester. There's another one uploaded. That's so annoying. Okay, we did fail one of those. That's one. What was in there? A princess. So both princesses are gone. That's awful. So that means we can't get our successes either. Okay, fine. So she's done. Inauspicious. I have already purchased the new Primal expansions. Unfortunately, I wasn't popular enough to receive some of them early, which I'm very disappointed about because I think I have 2 full campaign playthroughs on my channel of Primal. But no, I'm not popular enough, which is okay. I'm happy to pay my money and wait and get them at the same time as everyone else. So yeah, looking forward to playing those 2. They look great. I was actually going to pull Primal out the other day and do a couple of the new challenges, but yeah, then they announced the new expansion, so I thought, no, I'm not going to worry about that for now. Do I want to give her... Yeah, see, that's kind of ruined the plan that I was hoping to do. I could sprint with her now over to that Lament Rift. There's 2 on that. And I could, yeah, alright, sweet. So I think, can we do that already? We can, yeah. And what do we do with the swords? Maybe we give him the swords? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna sprint with the Clockwork Golem. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. he's an automaton, and so he just trundles around, and he walks quite slowly. He's got this little gear token, so it rotates around. Yeah, I got wave 2, mate. I set my alarm same, and by the time I got up, they were all gone. Whaley as well, in the chat as well, he did the same thing. So they announced that they were doing a wave 2, and I got in on that. So we're sprinting, and we're going to move up to the carriage. Don't know what's in the carriage. The carriage is, open the carriage, remove this card, and draw and resolve secret card 32. So there is multiple secret card 32s. 1, 2, 3. 3, yep. So we're going to randomly... this one. An ironclad safe. You may deal damage to the carriage. Place damage dealt. When there are 4 damage on this card, place 2 random treasure tokens on the carriage space. Alright. 2 random treasure tokens is pretty good. Thanks for signing up, Zoe. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate you. So do I now try and do that damage? Deal 2 damage at range 0 to 1. We're on gear 3 at the moment, so we can discard status tokens. We don't want to do that. No, so we're going to give our friend the shield, are we? Yeah, we're going to give our friend the single shield. Okay, so the Death Jester now, we're going to sprint using this. She's movement 2 normally, so the sprint allows her to go 3. She's going to get away from that werewolf. 1, 2, 3, up here onto this space. She's going to grab the Lament Rift 1, 2. So she's got 3 Lament now, which is good. We just get 1 more. If we can kill that little minion, we'll get 4. How can we kill that minion? Well, we have a shield, which is of absolutely no use to us. Yes, I've done what I thought was a fix, and it looked to have worked, but we did have a little dropout. I think it might be the cable. I think the HDMI cable might be triggering it. So anyway, I'll try and fix that at another stage. So I've tried to isolate the problem. It's not the camera, because I've switched the camera to a different thing and it works fine. It's not the port that I put it in, because I've put this one into a different port, so I think it's the cable. And I think the cable, it may just be, it also could be the fact that I've got 7 cameras attached to this machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it might just be overloaded. Thank you. Oh, sorry dear Mrs. KDM's glorious though. Nick, the campaign, there isn't actually a campaign in this. What you have is this little thing over here, which is just like a tracking sheet. So you just have like one and done of each scenario. There's 5 scenarios for each Griefbound, of which there are 8. And then there's also 1 for each of these guys. So you just sort of mark it off as you go. Not a campaign. And that's actually, for me, a positive, because the, yeah, I've got too many, I've got too many campaign games that I don't play. So, okay, I'm really trying to figure out what I do with my next action. Maybe with tactics tokening. I just want to deal 1 damage at range 0 to 1. I need one of those. There is one on that, but the likelihood that I roll one of those is slim. So am I, instead of using that shield, am I going to actually give this up? That means then that this guy can't do his big attack, which is a shame, but he can still run. Yeah, this is also an ineffective turn. Oh, maybe we give him the magic, and then I can do that. Yeah, no, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, all right, so we're doing that. So then, her next action, she's going to give him that dice, so we're going to assist over here, and then she's going to use this to deal 1 damage at range 0 to 1, or range 1, range 0, so that's another minion defeated. So it's another lament, which is great. It does feel pretty hard from what I've observed of the fight and what I looked at the cards before. The cards that he's got are all punishing. You have more level 2s and level 3s in these fights than you do in a normal fight. So let me explain a little bit about how the scenarios work. So I'll grab the Devourer book. This is in the this is on YouTube now when you watch this one. But so I played scenario 1. So for scenario 1, you'll gain 5 level 1 attack cards and 2 level 3 in a solo game. So that's scenario 1. In scenario 2, it's 3, 3, 1. Scenario 3, 3, 2, 2, and so on. So scenario 5 is going to be very, very difficult. Not to mention that the environment also gets more challenging with more things and negative effects potentially from the terrain and the environment. So the Pretender just gets 7 cards. It's only got 3 level 1s, 4 level 2s, and 3 level 3s. So on average, it probably sits at about difficulty 3, I would think, versus a normal fight around difficulty 3. So it'll be tough, tougher than what we've faced already. And we're not having a very good start. We've had a pretty ineffective round so far. I can't smash up this safe. That's a problem. I do want to smash up this safe, but I can't. Does this one have a sword? No. So there's no point us re-rolling. Do I give him a magic or do I give him a sword? Yeah, I reckon we give him a sword actually. So instead of that, we'll give him a sword. So with my first sword, no, I need the magic to do this ability. I can just move. If I can smash up that carriage, the ironclad safe, that'd be great. I need to do 3 damage. I'm going to use my tactics token to reroll these 2 blue. Not helpful. I was hoping to get one of those. I don't have any status tokens, so that doesn't help us with power transfer. I think I have to just take, well, I don't really need to take any lament. So maybe I'll just put some damage on the thing. So yeah, we'll deal 1 damage to the carriage. And then we'll regain our tactics token. And this is also a sword. Double swords. Yeah, fine. So back over here, we haven't done a successful gamble this turn, so it's not going to matter. We've got nothing we can do, so we'll just take the Hungry Spirits action. We haven't taken any wounds, have we? No, we haven't taken any status tokens, so we don't need to do that. The Pile of Skulls? No. We'll pass. We'll pass with the Death Jester. Shame. Another ineffective turn. It is what it is, though. So we're back here. So yeah, we'll just deal another 1 damage at 0 to 1. We'll do that on the minion that's next to us. So that minion is gone. We've put 1 damage on the safe, which is up here. And now I can move. Do I want to move away from the Pretender? Well, I can't really get away. I will use my last thing to do a move. I regain my tactic. So I'm just going to move down to there. Yeah. Okay, that's again a pretty ordinary round. So let's deal ourselves out an event card. Living Flames. Place 1 and 1 burn on each Lament Rift. Okay. So there's Lament to burn. No, that's awful, Deno. Stop that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we also have to place a burn. Now, one thing that is a slight issue I have with the rules, frustration, is the way that the terminology on enter works. So there is a terminology in the game called on enter. You do not do that if you walk through a space. You only do it if you end a movement on a space. That to me doesn't make a lot of sense. The burn you'll only pick up on enter, which means you'll only pick it up if you stand on the space. I guess I can sort of understand it thematically, but yeah, it is what it is. Whoops, wrong button. Living Flames, all done. Let's do some cultists. These are going to be a little bit more punishing this turn. So if there is a hunter in 0 to 3, end in line of sight. So we've got here, we've got here, we've got here, and we've got here. So 4 in line of sight, so 2 on each. It's little saving graces, I suppose. So they're attacking all hunters in 0 to 3 in line of sight with 2 dice, and that's it. So we'll do the Clockwork Golem. So 4 of those, that's deal 4 damage and 1 curse. I'll just take the 4 damage and 4 curse. Oh, that's terrible. Uh-oh. Oh man, I wish I could use my power transfer now. I've had some swings and misses with Awakened Realms. I played through the entirety of Tainted Grail twice and really loved it. I then went back to try and play it again a couple of years later, and it was just, I didn't enjoy it at all. So I moved it on. We had a very so-so experience with another one of their games that's escaping me. Dragon Eclipse is good. Tamashii Chronicle of Ascend is good. Nemesis, in my opinion, is their best. sitting right here. You can't see it, but it's just there. It's their best game. It's fully painted. I'm going to play it on the channel. It's going to be great. But for now, this may take the top spot for me. Okay, so that one's 2 burn, which is better than 2 curses. Oh no, that's nothing from those 2. Oh, excellent. All right, so 2 damage. 1, 2, and 2 curses. When you gain a curse, unfortunately, you deal yourself out a curse card. So curse cards are card number 1. Yep, secret card 1. So I prepared my secret cards in advance. So we have the Curse of Death here. And over here we have the Curse of Vulnerability. What does the Curse of Vulnerability do? As long as you have this card, you cannot discard burn or stun tokens. Well, that's probably my least favourite thing. The Curse of Death. If you have 5 curses, set your health to 0. That is terrible. That is terrible. These curses are awful. So the way curses work for statuses, again, really cool mechanic. I like it a lot. If you ever gain a curse, you just draw 1 card, and that's the curse that you have been cursed with, and the power of it depends on how many tokens you have. Pretty cool. I actually don't think the insert's too bad. I've managed to condense it down to the main box, the sleeves box, and the acrylic token box, and I think I'll be able to get it down to just the main box and the card box, and for me that'll be absolutely fine. The token quality, the miniature quality, I actually think is really good. The cardboard ones are really good. The issue is that the acrylic ones are not as good on the core tokens. On the little special tokens, they're awesome. They're sick. And they're great on the armor tokens, they're great on the hunger tokens, they're great on the tactics, but yeah, just the lament, the curse, the stun, and the thing. And maybe they're not that bad. Yeah. The minis, I'm keen to try painting some. Alright, this could be a difficult fight from here because we're about to have the Feral Hunter move as well. Fortunately though, there isn't a hunter in range. Oh, that's awesome. So the hunter's not in line of sight because we don't have line of sight. So it's going to move 1, 2, and then the Feral Hunter is going to gain 2 hunger. Oh, woo! How cool is that? So yeah, if there is a hunter in range 0 to 3, there isn't. Oh no, it's if he's in range 0 to 3. It doesn't say line of sight. Damn, move 3, deal 1 to each hunter for each hunger on this card. There's none. The metal sword's awesome. The little bullet tokens are great. The wing tokens are good. Yeah. Okay, so there's no hunter in 0 to 3. Discard 1 hunger for each. Okay, so he doesn't have any hunger. So now he's just going to attack her. He should take that burn token. I might have to check that. I wonder if he does take burn tokens. Attacking with 2. 2 explosions, deal 3 hunger. This elite enemy can. We've got 6 hunger. Oh no. Oh, it's a bad start. It's a bad start. Come on, Deno, you recovered it last night. You can do it. This enemy gains 2 hunger twice. So he's got 4 hunger. What a cool guy. What a cool werewolf. I'll show it off, yeah, at some point. I don't really do unboxing videos or anything like that, but maybe I will. Alright, the Griefbound step. Oh, this is bad. We're spawning more of those little curse clowns. Only 2 though. So we've got 4 enemies on the map, so we're going to spawn at 5 and 6. So that seems terrible. It's the 2 right next to us. 5 and 6. Let's look at the upside. That's more lament for us. Alright, I want to see if minions suffer burn tokens. I can't imagine that they do, but let's check. Enemies cannot gain status or hunger tokens unless it clearly states otherwise. Didn't think so. That's too much to hope for. We're going to reveal a stage card. Oh, sorry, we've got to do the rest of that card first. Forge 1 bullet, and then forge a bullet for each empty bullet slot. So he's got full bullets, and then he's resolving special. No, he's going to shoot the Clockwork Giant. So his special is deal 1 damage to each hunter in range 0 to 2 and line of sight. So it is just the Clockwork Giant. Apply all bullet effects. We're going to forge all 3 bullets, so it's range 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be a 4 damage shot. The Clockwork Giant is going to discard his armor token and suffer no damage. And that is that card done. So we're going to move this over to here. We're going to place this here. And we're going to rotate to the stage card. The stage card that we get is... what is this? Lament-seeking bullets. Level up the grief-bound in each elite enemy. Oh, that hurts. That hurts, man. His special is more powerful. Come on, man. Stuff it. Stuff it, guy. Alright, so now we get to do hunger. If we draw the bad hunger one here, we're in huge trouble. We are in huge trouble. Oh no, it's a bad one. Savage. Move 1 towards the closest hunter for each hunger you have, then deal 1 damage to all of the hunters in range 0. So we're doing 6 damage to the Clockwork Golem because we have 6 hunger. We really needed that to be the enemy one. And then we're going to move 2, heal 2, or gain 2 armor. I guess we'll move 2 because we can move to this Lament Rift and grab both of those, as well as a nice friendly burn. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to move towards a space with Lament. Okay, that's actually fine. We're going to move to there and take a Lament. Oh no, I was wrong. We're not going to do that because we don't have any hunger. Instead, we're going to gain 2 or discard 2 status tokens. We'll discard these 2 curse tokens. That's very helpful. Thank you, Thirsting. At least we got a net positive out of that somehow. Alright, well, let's do his level ups. Done. But he's going to switch. Come on, it's got to be the cable. It's got to be the cable due to process of elimination. Alright, we've got gear 4, so we get to do a move 2. I'm going to move back to the thing here. And our movement is 2. I'm going to go to gear card 4. So, yes. No, I'm actually going to go onto that space there. I'm going to take that burn, take that lament, and roll these dice. It's got to be the cable. Okay, well that's good to know. Maybe. Do I discard that to get rid of my curse? Yes, I do. I discard that to get rid of 2 curse tokens, and I'm just going to discard that to get rid of this burn as well. So the curse of death has left us. But we're going to have, again, a very poor turn. We're going to spend that lament to move up to here. Nope, this one here. Alright, so this one's going to be a little more effective. We've lost all that hunger. We're going to level up 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 times. So we go to here. So the first level up is either the Hierophant, refresh step, draw 1 fate card. On a successful gamble, gain 2 armor. So we're just going to gain armor if we fail or succeed. Fleet of foot. Benefit if you have multiple greens. We've only got 1 green. So let's take the Hierophant, and we're going to draw lots of cards now. That's cool. The second level up, let's have a look. Dodge. Okay, this is quite wild. Gamble, color. Place one token on this card once per enemy phase. When being attacked, you can reduce damage by 8 and move 1. I'm taking that for sure. That is crazy. That is crazy cool. Alright, let's see what we get out of this roll. Alright, I will clear the 2 curses, I think. It'll just be 1 damage, and I can clear the 2 curses by placing the cleanse down. So I think we'll just take the 1 damage from the burn and not spend those, and we'll save those for later. So we still have our curse of vulnerability. So we get to draw 3 fate cards now. 1, 2, 3. 2 knights and a queen. So on a successful gamble game 1 tactic, we're probably going to do that. Clockwork Golems first. Come on, Deno. Fire up, son. We can do this. I am in massive trouble. What's happening this turn? Thirsting Bullets. Attack all hunters in 0 to 1 with 2 damage. Move 2 away from the closest hunter. Oh, he's punishing. Yeah, we've got to try and damage that card. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So we're on the space that the boss is on. We're going to use this one right here. It's deal 2 damage in range 1 to 2 and line of sight, then deal 1 damage in range 0. So we're going to do 2 damage to the safe. So it's now up to 3, and we're going to kill the minion that we're in the space with, which is going to gain us a lament. Then we'll use this sword to deal 1 damage, and we're going to smash the ironclad safe. So that allows us to place 2 random treasure tokens on that space. We can't heal with him though, which is awful. But maybe we can get some stuff out of that, I'm not sure. So over here, I want to try and kill that werewolf, because he's just going to continue to be an absolute nightmare. That's deal 1 and deal 3. I just don't have enough damage output at the moment. I can only do a maximum of 4 damage, and that's if I gamble successfully. How do we go about that? Okay, we're going to try and gamble this colour here. We're going to use that. Deal 1 in range 0 to 1, and we're going to gamble. The Jester counts as any colour. That's a yellow. That's a yellow. So we've actually successfully gambled on colour. So we're going to deal 1 damage to each enemy in range 0 to 1. I'm going to spend these 2, 1, 2, to move up to there. So those get discarded, and we'll keep these in the hand. There is 1 minion. 2 minion who's got a shield token, so that goes away. And then 1 damage to the werewolf. Seems fine. The feral hunter. I need to get out of dodge with her. Very badly. So she'll just take a move action. She's actually going to use her tactic as her action to re-roll these 2 dice, I think. Maybe this one as well. Yep. Alright. The dice have not been kind. So if we assist, so we can move 2. So we could just go and grab those 2 treasure tokens and see what we get. Let's do that. Let's move 2 and grab 2 treasure tokens and hope that they are worth the effort that we spent on them. So that's gain a purple dice, heal 4, or discard all shields from every enemy. There's not enough shields to make that worthwhile, so we'll gain a purple dice. We immediately get to roll that. We roll a shield. Heal 4, each hunter heals 2 and may move 1. So I can't heal. It wasn't worth it, putting all that effort into the carriage. I can't heal, but I can move 1. And so I will move to there. Each other hunter can move 1. So I'm going to move her onto that space there. And the second action that he's going to do is he's going to give her that. She's now going to use that to deal 1 damage to that little guy and gain another lament. She's got 2 lament out of that because she killed 1 last turn. And he's gone. And then I think we're just going to move. Ugh. I'm really, really struggling at the moment to get enough damage output. She could get up. Yeah, she's going to sprint. Or run, rather. She's just... Oh, she can't get to the space I want to get to. So she'll just move 1, 2 to here. So she's in safety, but I was going to go here. I'm not sure... Yeah, she's done. Actually, instead of doing that, let's give the Clockwork Golem something else that he can do. So we'll do that. So he'll gain 2 armor. Very little help at this point in time. And then he will move. He can move up to speed 2 in this instance. And he will move into here and protect himself at least from the curse throwing minions. That's his turn done. So she's going to cleanse. She's going to get rid of her 2 curses. So the curse of vulnerability is gone. And then I think, yeah, she just does a move to there. And that's her then. I guess she just gains a tactics token. And I'd really love to get that dodge up, but that's not going to work. So 2 armor doesn't help. We have successfully gambled, so let's try and gamble again. We need a pair. 1, 2, 3. Can you believe we get successes, but we don't get a pair? Because I have 2 knights and a queen. That's awful. So we fail, so we get a 2 armor. I was really hoping to get the complete that, and then we pass. I'd like to complete her story arc at least. We need more damage, is what we need. Significantly more damage. All right. Well, we'll move over to the enemy step. We have not damaged a card. In turn 3 in the game I played today, I had wiped out the cards. It was glorious. What are we doing? Oh, it's the Tormentor. Is there a little bug there? Get out of there, bug. Place 1 Lament on Lament Rift 3. That is proving to be a lucrative Lament Rift. Each hunter in range 0 to 1 from a Lament Rift gains Curse 3 or rolls 1 dice. I'll roll the dice on this guy. Oh, takes the damage. So take 3 damage, so we'll just make that take 1 damage. We're not fighting the Tormentor. She's in range 1 of a Lament Rift. She'll do the roll as well. I don't want Curse. She gets it as well. 3 damage on her. She will use her shield for that. Pretty bad rolls there. The minions. So the minions move 1 and gain a shield. So this guy, he'll move 1 to here. This guy will move 1 to here. He'll gain a shield. There's no minions up there. So this guy's already got a shield. He'll move to there. There's only 3 minions on the board. Okay, maybe you're not travelling as bad as I thought. The Feral Hunter, there isn't an enemy within range 0 to 3. I made sure of that. So now he's going to howl. Move 2. He gains 2 hunger. Deal 1 hunger to each hunter on the map. That's just very annoying. So 1 hunger. That's a tactics token. 1 hunger and 1 hunger. And he moves 2 and he gains 2 hunger. He's got 6. Seems moderately bad. So move 2, he is 3 spaces away from both of our characters. So when he's that, he prioritises the person who has the most corruption. So he will move 1, 2 spaces to there. Place him in the middle next to that Throne of Skulls. Cool. I might use that pile of skulls in the middle, actually. That could be good. So the Feral Hunter's done. Alright, so this stupid Griefbound, he's doing his Thirsting Bullets. What does that do? Attack all hunters in 0 to 1. There's none. Move 2 away from the closest hunter to a space with line of sight to a hunter. Can't do any of those things because we're in the hiding in the fog. So move 2 away from the closest hunter to a space with line of sight to the hunter. Away from the closest hunter. So we can't do that. So that's it. Then he's going to forge a bullet. So forged a bullet, done. He's then activating his special, and his special is deal 2 to each hunter in range 0 to 3. So it is going to deal 3 damage to the Clockwork Giant. He's all the way back to 15. However, if he suffers 15 more damage, it is game over, man. And that's the hunter's special done. He discards his bullet. And that's it for their turn. That's really bad. We're doing really badly. So, corruption step. Let's see if we can roll something good here. Frenzied, move towards the closest hunter for each hunger you have. We're not going to do that. Well, we are going to do that, but we're not going to do anything with that. So we can heal 2 or move. Our movement is still currently 2. Yeah, let's move to this space. Let's move to this. Let's activate that skulls thing. That could be good. Yeah. So he's done. Down here we have Sadism. Move 1 towards the closest hunter And then we are 4 to 16, so we're gaining 2 hunger. Okay. So we're moving 1 space to there, and that's it. Alright, we're now going to deal some level ups. So the Clockwork Giant is moving up. We need an attack here, so that's a cleanse procedure, not helpful. Auto repair, also not helpful. Do we take a dice? We got so many extra dice. I don't have any lament. I could spend a lament to try and get different ones. Terrible. I guess we'll take auto repair. We're rotating the gear. Doesn't help us. Our movement is 1. And we have a second attack now from our gear card 1. We got multiple attacks actually. So let's see if we can roll something. That's not enough swords, but we've got something there. We need more black dice. Okay, over here though, we're leveling up once. And let's see what we're going to get out of this. An impossible stake. Kill a minion, elite enemy or grief-bound card in range 0. On a failed gamble, take 5 damage. I think we need to take that one. But we need to get rulers for that, which is, rulers is the king and the queen. There's only one of each of those, so that seems unlikely. But we need to start taking a punt here, don't we? We're getting hammered. This one is deal 1 in range 0. Or deal 1 in each additional for each fate card in your hand. Okay, that one will have pretty much the same effect with no downside because we've got a lot of fate cards in our hand. And we'll take this and move up to here. Alright, this is the turn when we start to bring it around. This is the turn when we start to recover here. Did I roll that? Did that land in there? I don't think I did. Okay, same effect. So we've got our fate field swing. We're shuffling this, and we're going to deal ourselves out 1 fate card, 2 fate cards, 3 fate cards. 1, 2, 3. If we get the king or the queen, okay, the hanged man's bad, but at least it's out of the deck. So she can deal 4 damage, and she can actually kill the Wolfman straight up with that card. It is her first now. Yet to fail a scenario, but I think that's about to change. Because I haven't done any cards yet, and that was the 3rd turn. There's only 8 turns that you can take because of the event cards if you fail. Or 9 turns, I guess, because you can play through the turn until you go to draw an event card. Does that work at range 1 to 2? It does. Okay, alright, I've got a plan starting to formulate now. And maybe this turn's going to be okay. Maybe. So I'm going to start by giving our mate a sword. He needs more swords. We're going to return the favour by giving something else. Gav's trying to call me. What a clown. I'm streaming. There's not a death... Well, yeah, if you run out of event cards, you lose. Game over. And then I'm just going to kill the... werewolf. I need to move. I also take a damage from that burn. I'd really love it if that was at range 0 to 1. It's not. Okay. We'll move to the werewolf. So that's her done. Over here, we'll give her that back. And now I'm probably going to re-roll some of these dice. But my next action is going to be to use this skulls, this thingy of skulls. Yep. So we'll do that. Excellent. So deal 3 to one chosen enemy in range 1 to 2. Discard the pile of skulls model in range 0. So we'll discard that. And we're going to deal 3 damage to the Griefbound card. So 3 damage to the Griefbound card. I need 8 to kill that main card. Let's go for that. Do I have a favourite character? So far, I don't, but they've all been really enjoyable to play. I've played Keeper, Clockwork Giant, Death Jester, Duality and Gunslinger, and they've all felt very unique and very cool. And one of my mates played the Technomancer and the other one played the Twins. So the only character we've got left to play now, or the 2 characters we've got left to play, is the Mannequin. Is that it? It's just the Mannequin? Yes. Yes. We've just got the Mannequin left to play. They're all cool. They're all cool. Mannequin looks great. I'm going to play that next time. I'm going to play that when Whaley comes. Where are we at? Okay, so he's done his 2 actions. There's 5 damage required for that card. We can do 5 damage, I think. Deal 2 at range 1 to 2. Move 1, deal range 2. Yeah, we need to re-roll those dice. Okay. Her, so she's got a movement. So she's going to just pop the werewolf. So she's going to gamble. She needs to gamble for colour. 1, 2, 3. She doesn't have a yellow. That's awful. She doesn't have a purple, so she's going to fail. However, we still kill the guy. I just wanted to gamble so I can get the thing. Because we do enough damage to defeat him. He's going to lose all his hunger. She's going to gain 2 lament, and the the Clockwork Giant's going to gain 2 lament. And let's see if we can roll a 1 in 12 chance to flip that guy out of here. We can't, but we do place 3 on that track. 1, 2, 3. So he's out of it for a few turns. Good. So first action. Second action. I need to get her leveled up, I think. So we can move to the treasure. There's another treasure on the board. That'll do some healing, which there's usually healing on those. But what do we do then? What do we do then? We don't have a lot of other options. We're going to use our dodge and we're going to gamble for colour. So what we're hoping to see is 2 reds or 2 purples. So the first one is a yellow, not great. Second one is yellow. Okay, now we need this one to be yellow. Oh, so we failed to gamble for colour, so our dodge does not work. But we do get, when we fail a gamble, we get that. So we're actually at 4 armour now. And then, so that was those 2 actions. Okay, over here. We're going to use a tactic to re-roll these dice here. Okay, the double shields are so unhelpful, it's not even funny. We're movement 1. So I guess we're just sprinting with this to get onto the boss's space. And then we'll use power transfer to deal 2 damage to the boss. So he's at 5 of 8. 1, 2. She will move. I think we're going to go for that treasure. So that's a sprint. She's going to move to the treasure token and she will gain heal 4. Each hunter gains a lament. Each hunter gains 2 shield. She'll heal for 4. She goes up to 11. That's about all I've got going on for now. And then her last action, we're just going to gain a tactics card, or tactics token. She's done. This guy now can deal 2 damage at range 0 to 1 with a double sword, and that'll take us to 7. We need more swords. We need more swords. So we'll try and use this for a tactic, and then we'll re-roll these 2. Not even a little bit helpful. So that's 1. Don't like our chances here. So we have to... Oh no, we're fine. No, we're not. That's bad. Okay, I actually needed to use this for the tactics token and re-roll these. So I needed to do that. You do need dice, yeah. You do need dice. So we've got something out of that. But I don't... No, it does. It does. Okay, great. So we deal 2 damage in range 0 to 1. And then we deal 1 and we kill that card. So we've managed to kill the card for the first time in the game. What we really need is a 12 now. And then we're going to move. We're movement 1. We're going to move up away from minions. Yeah. So let's see if we can roll a 1 in 12 and avoid an attack this turn. It's pretty much the only thing I think will get us back in this game. No. Instead, we may refresh 1 basic action or gain a 2 armor. I'll gain a 2 armor on him. Refill the attack track. Boom, boom. So yeah, not ideal for us right now where we're positioned. Quite bad, in fact. Clockwork Giant's about to get pummeled. Pummeled. We do get some lament out of that though, don't we? Yes, we do. That card was worth 2 and 1. So he gets 2, she gets 1. That's good. Now that one's not working. I don't know what's happening. Let's go to the event card. Overheating portals. We are fighting a pretender. Place each portal on its side. Deal 2 burn to each hunter. Oh, we're not near portals. That's amazing. That is amazing. Lament Rift 6. There's now 2 Lament on Lament Rift 6. Nice. Portals done. Minions. 2 of them are going to shoot the boss, the Clockwork Golem. So the first one, he rolls 2 explosions, which are nothing. Second one, do that again, didn't I? No. So it's 2 damage and 1 curse. We'll discard the armor. So 2 curses. So he's going to draw himself a brand new curse. But we do have the heal effect now that we can remove those status tokens, so that's nice. We've got the Curse of Bleeding. As long as you have this card, place all your curses on the chosen actions. You cannot place curses and actions with a stun on them. When you use a curse action, take an unblockable damage. That's great. That's great. So the curses, we'll put it on Cleanse and Tactic. Yep. I don't know what's going on with the dice thing. The camera. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so that's those guys done. The other guy's just going to move 1 space. He's already got his armor. We move to this guy. He discards that. We move to this Blunderbuss Onslaught. Move 2. Attack all hunters in range 0 to 3 with 4 dice. Each attacked hunter is moved 4 spaces in a line away from the grief found. That's awesome. Move 2 away from the closest hunter. So he's going to move to this space here. He's going to shoot the boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're down to 8 wounds. Plus we gain a stun and a burn. The stun we'll put on our sprint or our run, and the burn just goes there. That's bad. We then get knocked back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he moves 2 away. 1, 2. And then he forges a bullet. My guy. My brother, please. He's spawning 4 minions. And that is just about all she wrote, I think. 4 minions. So there's 3 on the map. So the first one's going to be at 4, then 5, then 6, and then 7. Okay, we do have some hunger, but hopefully that can play in our favour. So the hunger that we're looking for, oh, it's that one there. This card here is Craving. Move to a space with the most lament. Excellent. We're going to take that single lament, and we're also going to get a burn out of that. What a great trade-off. We're very happy about that. Not. The Jester would have been bad, but we do discard the hunger. The Jester, Carnivorous. She's got 3. She's not going to make it. That's pretty good though. She'll move 1, 2, 3 to there. She doesn't discard any hunger. Oh, what did he need to do? You may gain 2 hunger to gain 1 lament. No. Heal 2 or discard 2 status tokens. So I will heal 2 or discard 2 status tokens. I'll discard 2 burns down here. So that was his effect. Her effect is lose 1 corruption. No, her effect is you may deal 2 unblockable damage to heal 3 if you don't gain 2 hunger. I'll gain 2 hunger on the Death Jester. So we need to hope she draws that card that lets her attack. He's going to level up 1, 2, 3. Attack, please. Defense module. That's not a... Whenever you switch gears, if you have 3 blue, gain a 4 armor on a pass. No. Alright, whenever you switch gears, you may set a dice to a chosen side. That's helpful, but we haven't got any attacks out of this, and that's been the thing that's cost us. Here, we'll move up 1, 2. She's going to move up 1, 2, and we'll see what that says. And see if we want to maybe... Oh, hang on. Do we have any lament left over? We did have lament left over. Okay, let's try again on him. So, a junk throw or a rampage. The junk throw is take 1 damage, deal 2. Can't afford to take damage. Deal 1 in range 0, you may discard 4. No, that's fine. We'll try again, because we actually had 2 of those. 1, 2. Something good. Safety protocol. Whenever you take a self-inflicted damage, reduce it by 1. When you don't have any damage tokens, reduce enemy attacks by 1. That is crazy. Discard 2 to refresh 1 action or restore. Discard 4 to refresh 1 other action and restore 1 discarded dice. These are all great, but I wish I had the attacks now. I guess we'll take a Lament Heart. Try and get some armor tokens. Oh, it's a trash roll as well. Okay, we're going to Gear 2 though, so that's good. Gear 2's the slowest one, but we're going to 2 armor. Now, I feel confident we're going to lose this one. We just haven't had... It's a tempo game. You need to build tempo. So we're taking 2 for her. And what have we got? Deal 2 unblockable damage in range 0 to 1, piercing strike. Instead, deal 4 unblockable damage. Army. What's army? You need to have 3 knights. Yeah, draw 1 fake card, then discard a fake card. No, at least we've got more armor now. Or sorry, we've got more attacks over here. I probably kind of need more dice at this point, but spend that to go up there. We only need to do 6 damage to this card to be able to get through it. Clockwork Golems first. We need to lend her some dice. We haven't rolled a single double on either character's dice. So, could be tactics token time. Okay, Clockwork Golem. What do we want you to do? We are in Gear 2, so we're going to get to 4 armor. Right now, I reckon we need to give the Death Jester a bit of a swing. So I think we'll give her a dice, and we're probably going to need to sprint. Now let's gain 2 and move 1. So we are at range 0 to 1 now. So we have a 4. Okay. Yep. That's going to cause us to take a wound, but we'll be able to clear our 2 curses. So I probably should have put that there. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's get the Death Jester doing something. I do need to draw 1, 2, 3. We've got the Jester, that's helpful. Okay, I reckon we go for our big gamble. The Fate-Fueled Swing. And see if we can take out a card. So we need to sprint to get to the space. So let's do that. We'll sprint 1, 2, 3 up to this space. And then we're going to use our fate-fueled swing right here. And that is going to let us, we're going to gamble. So let's gamble. Yellow, purple, yellow. We will replace this with the Jester. So that is a successful gamble. That's our first successful gamble, which means we get to draw 2 fate cards, 1, 2. And now, on a successful gamble, we gain 2 armor, but that doesn't matter. We get to deal 5 damage to a card. So we will deal 5 damage to the card that's in the current slot. Okay, good. Back to the Clockwork Giant. He is going to spend his sword to deal 1 damage at range 0 to 1, which is going to kill that card, and we're going to get a lament for both cards. 1, 2, and what we desperately need now, is to roll that thing that stops it from happening again. Don't refill the track. No. May refresh 1 basic action, or gain 2. Refill the attack track. We don't have a basic action there. We do have a basic action over here, so we'll do that. The attack track gets refilled, and that's a bad one for us. I think the Clockwork Golem's going to go down before we get to the final stage. So she's done, she moved. He's done 1 action. So we're going to use our Lament Heart. Oh no, sorry, let's just cleanse. Let's just cleanse to clear off these 2 curses. Curse of Bleeding's gone. We're back here. So she is in a position to do another big swing, which is 4 unblockable damage if we can play an army, and we have 2 knights in hand, which means we're a decent chance of doing that. And we can't do that at the moment. So we're going to use our tactics token to re-roll our dice. Actually I want to keep that lightning bolt or that explosion. We need double swords or a dodge symbol. Double swords or a dodge symbol. Not much help. On a successful gamble, on a failed gamble, dodge, draw a fate card. Okay, we're going to do this. Deal 1, and we're going to gamble for colour. That's a red, that's a yellow, and that's the Hanged Man. We'll swap these 2 reds in. So we successfully gamble. So we're going to kill that little minion, 1. We're going to kill that little minion, 1, and we're going to do 1 damage to the boss's card. And that's fine. So that's 1, 2. She'll cleanse, get rid of that burn. She stayed alive, but she's just not doing enough damage, really. Okay, the Golem is going to use his Lament Heart. No, he's going to do this. He's going to deal 2 damage at range 0. Perfect. So we're going to do 2 damage to that card. So we're up to 3 now. Which is enough to turn off the focused effects. Pinning shot. Maybe we need to move out of the way with his last action. I have the opportunity to kill the Blunderbuss Assault card rather than trying to, but this card's quite bad for us because it's going to stun some of our stuff, but I reckon we just need to let that one go. If we put the 3 damage instead on this Blunderbuss Assault, that might be worthwhile. Yep, we're going to risk that. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. We're putting 3 there. While we're at that, let's go over to this page and let's read the make 2 successful gambles in a single turn. You can read that. Unlock the Marot. Place it behind the Death Jester Survivor. Cool, we've unlocked a secret card. J1. I found it. Here it is. The Marot. Before this action, you may gamble any number of times. Deal 1 damage and 0 to 1. Oh, passive. You may treat the Hanged Man as anything you want. That's interesting. You may gamble any number of times. Gain a pair. Repeat this action. Okay, so that's got a higher damage potential. Cool. That's interesting. What's the next thing we need? On a pass, have 3 fate cards in your hand. Read entry 3. Nice. So she is done. I have no idea whose action it was. I'm pretty sure it was hers. What did she just do? No, it was just his, wasn't it? So it is hers now. Heal 2. Discard a lament. Gain 4 armor. I can discard a 4 to refresh 1 other action and restore a discarded die. And then I can gain a 4 armor. So let's do that. Let's restore this cogwheel. It's on the wrong screen, Deno. So yeah, we're going to use this Lament Heart. Discard 4 to refresh 1 other action and restore 1 discarded die. So we get that, that's not helpful. And then we'll use Power Transfer to gain that 4 back. And then I guess we're going to sprint. Or do we just take a Tactics? I think we'll take a Tactics. Yep. The next turn. Her turn. She's not super exciting right now. But she can... She'll take a Tactics as well. Okay, we got some activity happening that turn. We did. We're down, we only need to kill 3 more cards, and we've got 1 that's half damaged already. However, he's about to level up. So she'll pass. I've changed my mind. She's not going to gain Tactics token. She's going to do a move action with our last card. Because I want Lament. And there is a rift there with 2 Lament. So we'll go there and take that 2 Lament. Yep, good. She's taking a burn out of it, but that'll get her a level up. All right. Event card, and I think we're in some trouble. A trap. Place a Lament in Lament Rift 5. Very good. Oh, the Griefbound is gaining 3 little 2 armors. I'll just discard a Lament for... Yeah, we'll just discard a Lament. That's not affecting us at the moment. So that's done. The minions need line of sight, and they're actually out of line of sight for all minions, except for this one. So this one's going to move to here and put up a shield. This one's going to move to here and put up a shield. That one's going to shoot the Death Jester. Move 1, move 1. Death Jester, 2 dice. Deal 1 in the curse, so it's dealing 2 damage in a curse. We'll go down to 9. We're taking 2 curses, and what curse do you have, oh sweet Death Jester? You have the Curse of Death. Uh-oh. The Elite is going to discard that. And we're doing this pinning shot. Let's see if we are dead on this turn. Each hunter in line of sight places a stun on their run and sprint actions. Done. Attack all hunters in line of sight, and then it's going to forge a bullet. He's got 2 bullets. He's not my favourite guy. Alrighty. So the first one is on the Clockwork Giant. That's the best result, I think. Deal 1 damage and 1 burn. So we've got 4 damage. We're going to discard his shield, and we're going to take 4 burn. That part's, yeah, less exciting. The burn. And he's pushed back 1 space. Her, the Death Jester. So burn, 1 damage and burn, and that's 2 damage and stun. So we're going to discard that, so we're taking 1, 2. We've got 2 more burns and 2 more stuns. 2 stuns and 1. So there's a rule in the game that if you don't have sufficient things, you have to take damage. And I'm actually out of burn tokens. So she takes a damage and she'll stun this and this. She gets moved to there. And then it's a stage card to level up here. Easily 1 bullet. On a minion kill, forge a bullet. Oh, bad. Okay, so we've got a level 3 now. I definitely am feeling the increase in difficulty from the level 1 scenario to this one. This has moved across, and this moves to here. So 7 damage, so we need 4 more damage to that. Okay, corruption cards. Not moving at all. Gaining a hunger. Fine. 3, 4. So that's not going to work in our favour, unfortunately, because, come on camera, the closest enemy is a minion. It says move 1 towards the chosen enemy for each hunger you have. I will select the Griefbound. I'm going to find out if that's actually the way that's intended to work later on, but I'm going to move to the Griefbound and I'm going to discard 5 hunger and I'm going to smash that card. Or do I instead put the 5 damage on the next one? Yeah, I'm going to put 5 damage on the next one. Double tap. Yeah, I've unlocked 2 now. So we literally just got the Death Jester's weapon, which is awesome. And then she is going to gain 1 hunger and heal 1 at the end of the corruption step. Oh, do we want that? No, that's fine. Gain 1 hunger. So hers is done and we're now shuffling that. Get a hold of yourself. All right. She might pull us out of the fire here. She might, and I mean that literally, because we're on to, as long as I can cleanse some of these fire and curses. Oof. Okay, we're going to spend these 2 to get a level up. I think we need dice, so I think we're going to take dice. Fate Field Swing. I'm going to take a dice, and it's going to be another black dice for her. She has got so many things here. Okay, we're going to discard these 2 to get rid of our curse. And that's done. And then we're going to take 2 damage from burn. We're down to 5. We really need to roll one of those. Oh. We need to give her a cleanse, but we also need to give her a... Yeah, I suppose it's time for her to just swing for the fences. She's first in this turn. Over here, we're moving to Cog 3. We're taking a damage. We're setting a dice to our chosen side. It's not really useful, but we'll do that. And we'll clear the 4 burns. That's an awful, awful turn. But this guy's got no armor left. He's got nothing. So he is in big trouble. Okay. We're good to go. He's got no lament to spend. This gear card comes out. We're movement 1. And she's first. We need to draw ourselves 3 fate cards. Alright, we need 4 damage on this blunderbuss onslaught to knock that out. And then we need 4 damage on the next card to knock that out. And that will put us closer than we've been. 1, 2, 3. The Hanged Man and 2 princes. Alright, that one's useful then. We'll use our tactics token to re-roll all of these dice. That is a perfect result, sort of. I'll use this. I'm going to gamble with the successes. Knight. Jester! We're going to do it. And a knight. So I'm going to discard this guy. He's a prince. So we've successfully done the successes. That's going to deal 3 damage to the card that we are on. On a successful gamble, we gain a 2 armor. Oh, I just realised this guy's got armor. So that is pretty annoying. Actually, all it means is he loses all of his armor tokens from our 5 swing. Yeah, it's fine. We got rid of the armor in 1 swing, I suppose. Yeah, okay. So that does mean that we do 3 damage to that card. We need 1 more to damage that card. And we don't want to waste our card on that. Piercing strike, no. Yeah, I guess we'll just deal 1 damage in range 0 to 1. Yeah. So I played this, thanks mate, appreciate that. Yeah, I played this on Tuesday night last week. The 2 guys I played with had never played it. I'd played 1 game, and yeah, they picked it up pretty quickly. Depends on how good they are at games, I suppose. There's actually quite a lot of like layered strategy in this. The dice manipulation is kind of a smaller element to it. So yeah, I think one person's got very firm. One person needs to run this, basically. This board is what one person needs to do. So, Hunters may refresh a basic action or gain a 2 armor. So we'll gain a 2 armor with both. So she goes to a 4, he goes to a 2. She's done. The Clockwork Golem. What do we want to do with him? Do we want to re-roll his dice? Refresh 1 action or restore 1 discarded dice. We're on gear 3. We can discard 3 status tokens by using a dice. Stop doing that, you stupid camera. I'm very annoyed by you. We don't need that for him. So this is 2 magic. You may take 1 damage. No, not useful. Deal 1 damage at range 0 to 1. We need to move. We can't move because of our stun. So this lets us move and deal 2 in range 0 to 1. That doesn't help us. So I guess we use this basic dice here to clear off the stuns. Yeah, I know how that feels. And then we'll sprint to move into range of the boss. So those 2 are up there. My little Camlink Pro is obviously not coping well with the amount of input coming in. This is it, the Death Jester. We're going to try and go for the fences here. So we're going for our Fade Field swing. We're going to gamble. 1 yellow, 2 yellow. Please be a yellow. Oh, it's a red. That's awful. So we failed that gamble. This is going to be a 4 damage swing. Where do we put that 4 damage? So that one needs 11. This one needs 9. We'll put it there. 4 damage on the Thirsting Bullets. She's then going to pass. That's her actions over. When she passes, she didn't have 3 cards in her hand. She failed a gamble, so she would gain 2 armor, but that doesn't do anything. So yep, she's done. She's got no basic actions. She's got 4 stuns on her basic actions. It's a terrible time to be the Death Jester. If I can somehow manufacture 5 damage from this guy, we'll actually be close, but I don't think we can. 1, 2. Yeah, the pinning shot's in the discard pile. That's why. I'm wondering why I've got no cards. Yes, this in the discard pile. Yeah, so we need to kill 2 more cards, basically. And 2 of those are level 3, and 2 of them are level 2. So I think we can safely say that the Clockwork Giant is going to go down this turn. He does have the ability to do 2 damage right where he is. So he'll do 2 damage, and then he can use his Lament Heart, which he will, to restore a discarded die. And the only one, yeah, if we do that, we're going to get wrecked because we need the armor. Stop clearing off thing. Yeah, so we're up to 6 damage on that card, and we need to be on 9. I can get 1 more, but I don't think I can get anything other than that. So we just need to have some positive hunger come our way. We could restore that, and that would potentially roll a sword. But we have to give up our 2 armor to do that. Yeah, so I think we'll just hold on to our 2 armor and hope we can survive this turn. Hope. That card is going to waste. Oh. Alright, well I'll put the 3 on. I'll put that on here, that card. Alright, well, we're on to the third last event. Shiny Find. Okay, place a random treasure token on the next card. Place all treasure tokens from the map. There's none. I've picked them all up. When a treasure token is killed. Yeah, cool. So we get a freebie. Nice. If we can kill it. The little minions, there's only 2 in line of sight. They're both going to target the Death Jester because she has the higher corruption. The others will all move. So the first Death Jester attack is 2 damage and 2 curses. She'll take 2 damage, 1, 2, and the 2 curses. The second attack, same deal. She'll have to... Oh, she's down to 1 health. So we want her to die now, because we want her to get the final perdition thing. No, not that. The thing that lets her gain the thing. I'm doing a bad job of explaining it. She's got 4 curses. And if she takes 1 more damage, she discards everything. You discard all negative things and you flip a critical injury card. That's what I'm trying to say. 4 curses. What curses she got? The Curse of Vulnerability. All right. Now the Grief Bounds elites are the elite spawning as well. Fine. Fine. Okay, the Gunslinger's shooting us. Attack all hunters in 0 to 1 with 2 dice. So the Clockwork Golem, he suffers 2 damage and 2 burn. He'll block with that, but he is going to suffer 2 burn. And then he's also going to gain 2 hunger out of that because of this Thirsting Bullets card. And then on the Death Jester, it is instead 1 stun and 1 damage. Okay, so the Death Jester goes down, and that's fine. So she's going to clear off all of her tokens, thank goodness. She does... We'll check that out. We've got the critical injury card, so we need it for 2. Critical injury. You ignore all negative effects. The Curse of Vulnerability is gone. If there are no minions on the map, or you have at least 6 Lament, the final attack card is revealed. Yep, seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. Okay. And he's then going to do special. So he's not going to shoot us, but he is going to shoot the Clockwork Golem for 4 damage. Clockwork Golem is down to 3. And he's discarding all of his bullets. That was from the special. Alright, well we didn't die with the Clockwork Golem, but we're pretty close. He's got 3 health remaining. He's already died once. So that is tough times. He's also not leveling up this turn. She is dealing 1 damage to a dude, and then she's gaining 2 hunger to the Clockwork Golem, so he's down to 2 health. And the Clockwork Golem is frenzied, and he's going to deal 3 damage, but he can't do any damage to her. And I'm going to gain 2 hunger. So that is where we find ourselves. I've got 2 health on the Golem with 2 burn. We will spend our 1 Lament, I guess, there. We're moving to gear card number 4. That's going to let us move to... We don't really need moves, we need heals. If we don't roll any of these magics, then we are out. Okay, we do roll 1 magic. And I'm going to discard my tactic token to roll again. You can do that any time, by the way. It doesn't have to be an action. See if we can get another one. We can. We'll discard those 2 to clear off the 2 burns. If we can get to the final attack card, it doesn't matter if this guy dies, but if he dies before then, we lose the scenario. The Death Jester can probably carry it home. She's strong enough to do so. She's got enough attack cards here. She's leveling up once. Oh, she's 1 short from flipping over. I'm pretty sure I could have got an extra Lament somehow. I'm going to see what her little thing does. I might have even forgotten one. Flip the Fate deck face up or heal 4. You draw 2 Fate cards. Lucky. That's cool. Shame. Alright, so she has to get 6. Or reveal the final attack card. Ugh. I haven't rolled well. And when I've needed it, we don't have any swords there. Drawing 3 of these. One, two, 3. That Hanged Man is very punishing. That's a princess though, so that's helpful. He's first. What does she need? She needs a sword. Ah yes, and he can move too. So he's going to move to here. And then we're going to give her the sword. No, I don't really want to give her the sword. I might give her... Might give her nothing for the moment. Let's just play this here with these 2. Deal 2 damage in range 1 to 2. So we're up to 5. Sorry, I've done a bad job there. We're up to 5 of 11. And then we'll deal 1 damage in range 0 to 1. Yep. So we're up to 6. So I think the Death Jester is going to be able to take out that card. Let's try it now. Fate-fueled swing. Oh, we need a sword. What are you doing, Deno? Alright, we'll play that here to get a reroll token. Oh, yeah, you got a sword. Forget that. We'll go here. So these two, we have to gain colour. So we need to see 2 purples or 2 yellows. That's not a yellow. That's a yellow. Be a yellow. Yellow! Excellent. So we discard that. We draw 1, 2. We get the Jester in hand as well. So that means we are going to deal 5 damage and kill that card. Alright, let's go. Let's go. We flip that. We're going to gain 2 lament and 2 burns, or heal 4. Or discard 2 armor from every shield. Well, we gained 3 lament for killing that card. Can we get the second card? Probably not. But I can get more lament easy. And that's gone. So this one's sliding across. We haven't got 2 left. Okay, so both of these are 9 damage. The golem is not going to bring much to the table here. But she can deal 3. And she can maybe actually deal 7. What do we need? 9. Okay. So she can deal that, and that's going to be 7. She needs that. So the golem's going to give her that. So she can do that. And he needs to gain the armor. He's not going to be able to do the damage. Oh, we're going to fall short by 1, are we? We're going to fall short by 1. 1. That is devastating. I don't see any other way to get that damage. Is there a way for her to refresh an action? Do we want to take the 2? Yeah, let's take the 2 lament instead of the heal 4. Well, what did I take? Heal 4. Yeah, let's take the 2 lament. So, the challenge is she's going to survive, but I don't think we need to get to the final attack right now, because the Clockwork Giant's just going to die, and that's it. I really need to refresh that action, and I don't think I can. And I can do a piercing strike. Oh, hang on. Hang on. We may be a chance here. That's 3. No. This is very boring viewing, I'm sure. Let me explain what's going on. So I need to do 9 damage to one of these 2 cards. The one that's in the this turn slot is the one that would be most ideal. If I can gamble the army, I have 3 knights in my hand, so I can guarantee that happening. Then I do 4 unblockable damage. So that's 5 remaining. This attack, if I can get successes, again, I have the Jester in my hand, which can count, and we know that the Princess has gone, but there's not that many cards remaining for us to not get that. That is those dice that I've got. So I can do 7 damage. So I need to find 2 more damage, and I don't think I can. The Clockwork Golem can do power transfer, but it's only using gear 4, which is move 2. So we can potentially get him into safety. Hiding in the abyss might be the only way we get around this. So he could move into there. Yeah. Okay, but he's got no other damage. What I can do, though, is I can gamble over here by using this, and one other hunter in line of sight gains 2. If I do that, then I can gain 2 armor. And then I could sprint or gain 2 more armor from this one, and then use Lament Heart to refresh that and regain that. Okay, maybe we're on. Maybe we are on. So whose turn is it? I think it's hers. It is hers. So she's going to spend this to now try and flip a pair. I'm nervous about doing this because there's only so many cards in the deck, and we know that the princesses is the case, but I have to do this now. So let's do that. So king's good. We just don't want to see a princess. Don't be a princess. Okay, there's a pair of knights. Perfect. That's perfect because we know that there's a prince and a princess in there. There's actually 2 princes and a princess as the remaining cards. Okay, so he gets a 2 armor. Oh my god, we might be doing this. He gets a 2 armor. Because of her, she gets a 2 armor as well. Doesn't matter. We're then going to give him that shield. He's there. It's over to him. He will use this to gain a 2, and then he's going to discard that to refresh this. And if this rolls a sword, I think we've done it. Come on, come on, Deno. Okay. So we'll do the war scythe attack. We're going to deal 3 damage because we know that there's successes in here. Prince, Prince, Princess. So that's 3 damage. We've gambled successfully, so we gain 2 shield. Okay. So that's that one. And then now... Was that her first action? Yes. Now she does this. Piercing Strike. We're refreshing this deck, one assumes. And we need an army. There's a princess. There's a knight. There's a knight. We'll replace one of our cards in hand with a knight for the princess. We've successfully done the army. We've successfully dealt 4 unblockable damage. And so now the Jester, oh my god, we've pulled this out of the fire. The Death Jester is the only one that can do this here. But this guy's going to do the damage that we need to kill that card. We're going 2 lament on both. So she's got the 6 lament she requires. She's got enough lament to do whatever she wants. And we're going to refill the attack track. However, it doesn't matter because we can refresh a basic action or gain a 2. I guess we'll gain a 2 on him. And then we've revealed that, and so we're going straight to the final act now. And we've managed to get there. We've ended a turn on a pass with 3 fate cards in hand, so we've achieved the second objective in her book. This is awesome. So on a pass, have 3 fate cards in your hand. Great. Feel free to pause that. Attempt 5 gambles in a single phase. We could do that. So feel free to pause and read that yourself. She's achieved her thing. That is so good. Oh my god. Okay, so the turn ends. She can't suffer any damage now. So, start of the event phase. We've achieved that. And so we're going to heal 5. So we're up to 6. And the critical injury goes away. And then we're going to go up here. So we just have the True Hunt is the final card. How have we gotten to this point? I have no idea. I think we still lose, but the Death Jester might just pull it out of the fire. She's got a lot of evolutions coming up too. Come on. Okay, this is the second last event. Corrupting Hunger. Each hunter with a lament gains a hunger. She's now got 3 hunger. The Clockwork Giant's got 3 hunger. I'm not worrying about placing the lament in the rift. He's done. The convicts, or the guys, the cultist guys. Oh, that's bad. Actually, I could have moved away, could I, with her? No, I could not have. I could have got out of line of sight of most. Oh, we're going to die in this minion phase, aren't we? You filthy minions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So not in line of sight. So there's only 2 in line of sight. Okay. There's only 2 in line of sight. That's fine. And the Feral Hunter is going to go for here. So this one is not in line of sight. This one is. This one is. So the first one, that's 2 damage and 2 curses. The second one, that's 1 nothing and 1 curse. So we're taking 3 damage. I'll take the damage. 1, 2, 3, and we've got 3 curses on us. 1, 2, 3. What curse do we have? The Curse of Misfortune. I don't think that's the case. This is the Death Jester. She is not unfortunate. Bad news, though, is that the 1, 1, 1, the werewolf's going to go and attack the boss, the Clockwork Giant. Move 3, and then attack each hunter with 2 dice. Clockwork Giant suffers nothing and deal 3 hunger. Okay. And he gets 2 hunger. Okay, Clockwork Giant's still alive. Fine. We do the True Hunt. Attack all hunters in 0 to 2 in line of sight with 3 dice. Yeah, this is where we fall down. And then forge a bullet. Move 3 spaces away from the closest hunter. So this will be on the Clockwork Giant. That's 1 damage, 2 damage, 3, 4 damage. 2 burns and a stun. We have a 2 shield, but that is not enough. We block the shield and we are defeated. However, Because the final attack card is revealed, that does not signal a game loss. So he's done, but he is not game over. Her, so she is suffering 1, 2, 3 burns. 1, 2, 3 burns. And she'll use her 4 to take no damage. Okay. And he's spawning minions, which doesn't matter. Because it's this is it. We also have to level up this guy to level 4. This is it. So with that card, move 3 away from the closest hunter and forge a bullet. So the Gunslinger Pretender has moved away. We're on this space. It's now our corruption phase. We've only got, there's no other hunters on the board, so obsessed, move 1 to the closest hunter, fine. We can gain 2 hunger to heal 2. We will gain 2 hunger to heal 2. That helps. So we're at 5. Perfect. We're spending all of this lament, and guess what? We are flipping to the bad boy side. Let's go! So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're getting to the top. Death Jester, corrupted. Flip the fate deck face up, or you may heal 4. I think we'll actually take the fate deck face up because it has to happen this turn. We have to win this turn, or it's game over. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got to redraw on some cards if we want. The Fool, on a successful gamble, refresh a chosen action or restore a dice. I'm going to discard Escape Art. I think we'll take a dice. I think we'll take a purple dice. Second level up. Sidestep or Painful Gamble. You may gamble any number of times, deal 2. Repeat this action for each successful gamble. We'll take that one. And then the third one, deals 6 damage, pinpoint accuracy. Sure. Let's load it. Or do we go for another dice? That's a 6 damage though, if we can get rulers. We've got face-up cards. We'll take that. We'll take that. This has been a fantastic finish. I'm very excited. We've got another purple dice here. So this is our last chance. This is it. We can afford to take 3 burn. I think we need to kill this card twice. A lot of shields there, Deno. We don't want to see shields. Shields are rubbish. Those are good though. Okay, so we're probably taking a thing. We get to draw 4 fate cards. Draw a fate card, draw a fate card, draw 2 fate cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can definitely get off the army effect. We'll take 1, 2, 3 from the burn. Good luck to us all, I say. we will sprint. We are in the space with the Griefbound up the top in this corner. He's tried to run away, but we've popped him. We're then going to grab a tactic token. We're going to go for our Fate-Fueled Swing. We're going to gamble. Yellow, purple, red. We'll discard these two. The king is in there, but we successfully achieve that, which means we draw 1, 2. The Jester is wonderful, but that card is now off the table. So that's a shame. So we're dealing 5 damage. We need to do 3 more. And then we're a chance at the 1 dice kill. So the 3 more will be this one. We need successes. We need a prince and a princess. There's a prince. There's a princess. That's successes completed, which means we deal 3 damage and we kill this card. Come on, Deno. All right. So what we need to roll now is either, this 1 in 12 is a victory. Is the Death Jester pulls it out of the fire. Come on, Deno. Ah, but it reduces the level by 3, which is the second best result. So this goes down to 1, and I need to find 5 damage right now. And I can't quite do it. I know, painful gamble. Before this action, you may gamble any number of times. Gamble army. Okay, so we need to re-roll all 3 of our dice, which we're going to do using our tactics token. And if these dice work, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not what we needed. I don't know if that was it. Oh, 2 swords. 2 swords is what we need. Or that and a magic. So we can't get another tactics token. Oh no, on a successful gamble, gain a tactics token, so we can gain another tactics token. So we'll try re-rolling this one and this one again. Oh, that's it. That's it! That's it! I think we've done it! We need to gamble with the army. We've got the knight and the jester. And we... Hang on, why is there 4? Oh yeah, because that's the case. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deal this 1 damage in range 0. And I'm going to gamble 1, 2. Doesn't matter. We're going to try again. So we fail the gamble, which means we gain our tactics token back. And we also gain 2 armor. So we've got 4 armor. But this is it. This is our last chance. And now I need to get an army to deal 4 unblockable damage with my last 2 dice. Deal 4 unblockable damage, which will kill the last card and win the game. I need to get an army. I've got a knight and a jester, so we literally just need to see 1 knight. A prince. Knight! Get out of here! The Death Jester! 5 damage to this fucking card. Dead. Boom! Pretender. Defeated. Super cool, man. Super cool. I dig it. Did I attempt 5 gambles in that phase? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. That was fun. That was fun. Very close to ultimate demise, and That's happened quite a few times now playing this game where it's felt really close, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah, a good thing. We had very, very, very fortunate draws for her. The cards that we got for her were great. And that's probably one of the things that you need for this game to go your way, is gaining additional attack options, because everyone starts with just one attack option, you know, that maybe deals a couple of damage. So you need more actions that you can deal bigger damage with. So you have to be pumping through that deck. And one of the reasons why we struggled so much is we had a very slow start. We didn't get an upgrade on her in the first turn. We just couldn't seem to generate any damage early on the minions. And these minions are actually quite punishing, because if they're not in range, then they gain armor. And normally the minions are just one wound, so you just need to hit them with anything and they die. You get a lament. See you, buddy. But yeah, in this instance, we needed to do 3 damage to be able to kill them. And there's not many attacks that I have for 3 damage. I want to be putting that on the boss instead, or the elite, rather than minions. So they just ended up plinking us for damage and putting curses on us and making our life difficult, because it just wasn't worth attacking them. I mean, you look at the board, we've got 5 little cultists with armor. So that's such a different experience just with that alone. We got a good draw on the hunger card that gives you a big swing on the boss, and sometimes that goes your way. I think you're 1 in 3, I think I calculated the other night. So 1 in 3 chance isn't too bad to have a positive one. I will have to check if you can actually attack a chosen enemy, so if you get to choose where you go. But yeah, that's another win. I'm sure we'll find some mistakes in that if we watch a playback, because that was a lot happening. But yeah, this game's great. I'm going to start painting it on the weekend. And yeah, I'll be playing a few more. I'll be painting this weekend because Whaley's coming up. But I'll be playing a few games of this with Whaley. 2 players, maybe 3 players. So really great. I've got a poll on the channel at the moment now, which is see if you are interested in watching a Euro game on our next playthrough. So we've currently got 25 votes. That's cool. Who's winning? Covenant is winning with 50% of the votes. So if you'd like to see Covenant, don't do anything. If you'd like to see Civolution or Recall, feel free to go vote on one of those 2 on the channel. And that is it. I'll probably be recording that one on Thursday night, maybe live, or maybe not. We will see. But yeah, this is going to go very well, this game. I hope a lot of people get to enjoy this as much as I have so far. Just looks like I'm playing this tomorrow night now too. I'm going to tell the boys that we're playing this tomorrow night. What's the other option? I could play a Euro tomorrow night. I could play Covenant with Koki for the Dwarves. Anyway, that's it. Have a great week, everyone. Beautiful way to start the week, playing a game of Grimcoven. I'll catch you all again.